I wake up before the sun rises. My eyes are heavy, my body aches, but my heart is already running ahead of me. There's so much to do, so much to fight for. Every morning begins the same way. The alarm doesn't just wake me up, it reminds me that the world won't wait for me. I look at the small bed beside mine, and there he is, my 6-year-old son, Ryan, sleeping peacefully. I just stand there for a few seconds, watching him breathe. His tiny chest rising and falling. That little face, my reason to keep going, my reason to live. I wasn't always this strong. There was a time when I thought my life had ended. 3 years ago, my husband left. No explanation. No goodbye. Just a note on the table that said, "I can't do this anymore." I waited for him for weeks. I thought he would come back. But he didn't. Days turned into months, and then I finally realized he was gone. Gone forever. And there I was. Alone. With a child, no money, and no one to call my own. People whispered behind my back. Some pitied me. Some blamed me. They called me the woman who couldn't keep her husband. But they didn't see the nights I cried myself to sleep. They didn't see how hard I tried. I started working wherever I could. A stitching job during the day, cleaning offices at night. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Sometimes, I'd fall asleep on the bus, holding my bag tight to my chest. My hands became rough. My back hurt every evening. But when I came home and Ryan ran to me shouting, "Amy," all my pain disappeared. That one word, "Amy," gave me enough strength to face another day. Every night, after Ryan slept, I would take out a small notebook. I called it our dreams. Inside, I wrote things like, "Ryan will be a doctor. Ryan will study abroad. Ryan will never cry the way I cried." I didn't dream for myself anymore. I dreamed for him. But life wasn't finished testing me. One winter night, when I came home, Ryan had a fever. At first, I thought it was normal. I gave him medicine, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "You'll be fine, beta." But by midnight, his temperature rose so high I could feel the heat before touching him. He started shaking. His breathing changed. I panicked. I wrapped him in a blanket and ran to the nearest clinic. The doctor took one look and said he needed to be admitted immediately. But I didn't have enough money. Not for admission. Not for medicine. I begged the doctor to start treatment. I offered my gold earrings, the last memory of my marriage. He agreed. That night, I sat on the cold hospital floor, holding Ryan's tiny hand, whispering prayers through my tears. Ya Allah, please, take everything from me, but not him. Hours passed like years. The machines beeped. Nurses came and went. And I just sat there, broken, helpless. By dawn, the fever broke. Ryan opened his eyes. His little voice said, "Amy, I'm hungry." I laughed and cried at the same time. Those words were the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. After that night, something changed inside me. I realized I wasn't weak. I wasn't a victim. I was a warrior. I promised myself I would never depend on anyone again. I would build a life for me and my son, even if I had to start from nothing. So, I started taking small stitching orders from home. At night, after finishing work, I learned about business and design through free online videos. Slowly, I began selling my handmade clothes online. At first, no one bought them. But I didn't give up. Each no only made me work harder. And then one day, an order came through. Just a single shirt. But to me, it was everything. It meant someone believed in my work. I named my little shop Ryan's Threads. Because everything I did, every stitch, every hour, was for him. One evening, while I was sewing, Ryan sat beside me drawing something. After a few minutes, he said, "Amy, look." It was a drawing of me, with a cape, holding a sewing machine like a superhero weapon. He said, "This is you, my superhero." I laughed through tears. That little drawing became the logo for my brand. People started noticing my work. Orders increased. I got invited to exhibitions, then interviews. They called me the woman who built an empire from nothing. But what they didn't know was that behind every success, there was a night of tears. Behind every smile, there was a memory of pain. Behind every thank you, there was a silent prayer I whispered to God. A few years later, a journalist asked me, "How did you do it, Aisha? How did you manage everything alone?" I smiled and said, "I wasn't alone. My son was always with me, even when he was too small to understand." Years passed. Ryan grew up. And one day, he stood on a stage, wearing a graduation gown, holding his degree. He looked at the crowd, and then at me. And he said, "This degree belongs to my mother. The woman who gave up everything for me. The woman who never stopped believing, even when the world did." People stood and clapped. But all I could do was cry. Because in that moment, everything made sense. Every sleepless night. Every insult. Every pain. It all led to this, my son standing tall, his eyes shining with pride. When the ceremony ended, he came to me, hugged me tightly, and whispered, "Amy, now it's my turn to take care of you." I couldn't speak. I just smiled and held him close. That night, when I lay in bed, I thought about my journey. From a scared, abandoned woman, to a mother who built a life from the ashes. And I realized something: pain doesn't destroy you. It shapes you. I whispered into the darkness, "Thank you, Allah, for giving me everything I once prayed for, even if it came through struggle." I'm not just a single mother. I'm a survivor. A fighter. A believer. And this is my story.